I don't even know what's going on anymore with CrossFit. So Glassman has stepped down, but I'll get onto that in a sec. I wanted to talk about Jessica Griffith and Travis Mayer. They're part of Team Misfit, and unfortunately this weekend they showed some true colours. They were removed from the team, and then it was kind of no one really understood why. And then Drew from Misfit Athletics put up a video on Instagram kind of explaining what was going on. But getting to the bottom of it, Jessica Griffith used the N-word in their group chat with some of the athletes. One of the athletes is Chandler Smith, so he's part of Team Misfit, who's obviously one of the most outspoken athletes at the moment with everything going on, and quite rightly so. So he's part of that group chat, and that derogatory term was used, which just no place for it. And then after that, Travis Mayer tried justifying it in the group chat by saying he couldn't see it through his white privilege, trying to make light of it. And then Jessica Griffith said it was because she is a white country bumpkin girl. Jessica's come out with a massive apology with a statement, but this was all once it kind of came out. I don't know if this would have happened if it had all just been kept in the group chat. But she's come out and apologised. It'll be interesting to see what happens with both of them, obviously being dropped from their team. With the current climate of everything going on, I don't think sponsors are going to touch them for a while, and they can obviously still compete. They can still be individual. They don't have to be affiliated to any kind of brand like Misfit, but their reputations are going to be tarnished. They're going to be like Ricky Gerard. Like, once you know what they've done, unfortunately, that's just their reputation gone. In time, they may be able to show that they're truly sorry and they mean it and stuff. But yeah, for now, they've done what they've done. Right, Glassman. Greg Glassman. He has resigned as CEO of CrossFit. He resigned yesterday. Probably still far too late. He has resigned as CEO, and Dave Castro will be taking over as the CEO of CrossFit. Now, this is where it gets a little bit tricky, because Glassman still owns CrossFit. He still owns the brand, he still owns everything. So all of these affiliate fees, any kind of money that CrossFit makes, Glassman still gets. He may have resigned from CEO, but he will undoubtedly still be involved. It's his company, it's his brand. He's not just going to go and sit in his house and wait for the money to come in. He will be involved at some point. So it begs the question, how involved is he going to be? Is Castro going to basically just be doing what he's told by his big boss? He may be CEO, but the owner is still ahead of you. So how involved is he going to be? Is it still morally right for affiliates to be paying their affiliate fees when he's going to the guy that is obviously has these backwards views and has caused all of this controversy in the first place? So does him stepping down as CEO, is that enough for affiliates? I don't think it is. I still think him resigning took too long. Obviously, the only way you can get him out of CrossFit is if he decides to sell. There's no way you can force him out. So it's a hard one, but it'd be interesting to see how Castro deals with it, if he can do anything. There were HQ staff that started resigning. I think they're hoping that by removing the CEO and bringing Dave in, they can get them back. It's just a lot of moving parts that's going on at the moment in CrossFit. Unfortunately, Dave Castro being CEO is probably not good news for Patrick Valmer. Unfortunately, before he resigned, Glassman couldn't go without doing more controversial things. CrossFit HQ have been doing Zoom calls with affiliates during the COVID-19 pandemic to try and, I guess to kind of help them out, discuss ways that they can survive, probably, and then discuss ways to reopen safely, things like that, now that some of them are. So in one of these Zoom calls, he is quoted as saying, "We are not mourning for George Floyd. I don't think me or any of my staff are. Can you tell me why I should mourn for him other than it's the white thing to do?" So not the right thing. He used the phrase, the white thing to do. Basically saying that all of our responses to Black Lives Matter and stuff is just because we are white and that's what we should do. He doubted the actuality of the public response to Floyd's murder, saying, "I doubt very much that they're mourning for Floyd. I just don't think that there's a general mourning for Floyd in any community." And then, well, like the majority of us, voiced his disapproval of rioting and looting that has taken place. But yeah, the fact that he has already addressed the Floyd situation and said that CrossFit as an organisation is not mourning or isn't taking much attention of it just shows that, unfortunately, that tweet that he sent out came from a completely wrong place. This Zoom call was last week, so this was before the tweet went out. Yeah, just gives you just couldn't keep his mouth shut. On another one it might have been the same call, it might have been a different one. He also encouraged Italian affiliates to respond to the government restrictions on opening gyms, so things like the hygiene and restrictions on numbers coming in. He said they should act and abide by all of these guidelines for the first 10 minutes of opening and then sack them off completely. So he's basically telling affiliates to pretend that they are up to scratch and abiding by these new hygiene standards and get them open as soon as he can, which is completely unethical. It's not safe with everything that's going on in the world at the moment with this pandemic. It's just not right for him to be doing things like that. But that to me suggests that there's some panic going on about affiliates not being able to open and not having any income. He's focused on them getting income in rather than providing safety to his community, which, as we already know, he doesn't give a shit about his community, so that makes sense there. It's interesting so far to see how many affiliates have left. As I last checked, there were over 1,300. To name but a few, Invictus have gone. In the UK, Royal Dots CrossFit, which is a massive one in London, they've de-affiliated. Christy Aramo's Polaris, they've gone. There are more waiting in the wings, I would imagine. Big one for me down in Cardiff, which is close to me, we've got CrossFit Cardiff. They're currently staying affiliated, but I think they're monitoring what's going on. They're still waiting to decide what actions to be taken. They're heavily linked with HQ, so I guess they're deciding when this all calms down. If it calms down in the right way, then maybe they'll stay. But I think there's a lot of gyms that are like that at the moment. They're just waiting to see what happens. Whether or not him stepping down as CEO is enough, we'll see. I'm not sure on that one. The games, go ahead. Your guess is as good as mine. So far, Noah Olsen and Chandler Smith, they've already backed out. They've already said they're out. There are other athletes that have said that they will not be attending. If some of these high-profile athletes aren't attending, the games is already in a reduced format. It's already, there's no teams. Fronin's not going. He's not going with his team. The pull isn't there anymore if these athletes start leaving. And I think if they boycott this year, they'll probably continue to boycott. I don't think the games is going to happen this year, and it'd be interesting to see what happens with the CrossFit season. Will the Open still go on? If athletes aren't, if they're not going through the Open to try and get to the games because they're boycotting the games, then does the Open happen? Do sanctions happen properly? I think it messes up every athlete's season. After already having it messed up last year with the change from regional to sanctional. So it's just, again, for high-level athletes who rely on this for their income, these are some big and important changes that unfortunately they're going through. It'd be interesting to see what happens. There are obviously still massive competitions that can give out similar kind of prize money. Dubai CrossFit Championships, Rogue Invitational, Strength and Depth in the UK. These are all huge competitions, and it'd be interesting to see if one of them tries to take over the space to be the lead, or if we end up with a system of just individual competitions throughout the world. But the CrossFit Games always had that. It's like the World Cup of CrossFit, like that was the pinnacle. So whether or not something else comes in to try and be the pinnacle that you have to qualify and find a route to, you just don't know. In terms of the community, so Catherine David's daughter, Brooke Wells, they've all been posting about how important the community is, and they are bang on. Zach George posted something this morning. The community is what makes CrossFit. The community is what makes functional fitness. Functional fitness has been growing around CrossFit for the last few years anyway. Whether or not CrossFit is needed anymore, it remains to be seen. Whether or not a brand comes in that gyms can align to and affiliate with, remains to be seen. But it'd be interesting from both a kind of a competition point of view and just an affiliate's point of view what happens. I don't think that affiliates and gyms need that affiliation anymore, because when CrossFit first started, it was good to have that brand and type of training, but now functional fitness is its own type of training. Strength and conditioning gyms, people know what they are now. So do you need that brand? Do you still need the CrossFit a lot of the affiliates have changed their name to X strength and conditioning because people know what strength and conditioning is, and you can use the same methodology. It's interesting from an affiliate point of view. I think that'll happen. I think people will be able to just operate without that CrossFit. Suddenly they've got £2,500 to play with. Hey, that could buy some new equipment. And then competition side of it, like I've already mentioned, it'll be interesting to see what happens. It'll be interesting to see what the route for athletes is, what their season is going to look like, what they're going to prioritise. Are they going to go for the prize money in places like Dubai, which I would. If I was an elite level athlete, you could make some serious money that weekend, and if that can set you up. But without having the CrossFit Games, I don't think that's going to survive now. Is there a pinnacle? Is there a way of proving who's the fittest on earth? Is Matt Fraser going to be able to say he's the fittest on earth for 2020? Just don't know what's going on. I think the next few months, more and more is just going to keep coming out. More and more is just going to keep revealing itself from HQ, from CrossFit, from athletes, from affiliates. It's going to be interesting to see what's going on. I'm quite excited. I think this is going to end up being doing a lot of good for the community, but we'll find out soon. I'll keep you updated as best I can if anything else comes out. And for now, thank you for watching this video. If you're not already subscribed, hit that subscribe button below, and I'll catch you in the next one.